Hey, what's up guys? I'm Mystical Gamer and today's video is about a new build for you guys. I have a Hunter's full Strand build for you using exotic gear that you don't see anymore, but synergizing with some precision with a gun that I'm using. It deals a lot of damage and it's really fun to use this build. So, another further waiting for the build. Let's go. Like you can see, I'm using Sealed MK grasps. Let's read what this uh, exotic does. So, power melee and finishers final blows grants Nightmare Full, increasing handling and airborne effectiveness while active. Freshly draw weapons deals additional damage and grants Nightmare Full on final blows, gaining Nightmare Full reloads all holsters weapons. What this means? So you kill some enemy with your melee. Then you swap for your secondary weapon or your heavy weapon. You kill some enemy. Then you swap again. Then you suppose swap again, and then you swap again, or you swap from primary for heavy, or heavy for primary, or primary for secondary. It doesn't matter. So you can always refresh your Nightmare Full perk from your Sealed Amker grasps, and that gonna give you a boost of damage for your Lord of Wolves. And they are this shotgun. It's dealing already a lot of damage, a huge damage, and with the boost of this Sealed and Carry, it deals even more damage that it does from initially without any perk active. And like you can see, I don't even have the catalyst full filled again, but it doesn't give you more damage on it, but it's going to help for scorch enemies and spread scorch for those nearby. So let's go through the build. Like you can see, I'm using Silk Strike. You cannot choose another super. This super is more for clearing heads than dealing damage for bosses. You can use it for mini bosses, of course, but it's more effective for clearing heads. For the abilities, I'm using Gambler's Dodge. Recharge your melee ability every time you dodging near enemies. Triple jump, threaded spike, so you can sever it. If he doesn't killing, he's gonna sever them and gonna returning your melee energy. If you for each target hit, press R1 just as the dart gets back to you and to catch it and increase the amount of energy return. You already know that. And I'm using grapple, so I'm using grapple so for the tangles, so you can grapple triangles without using your grapple, and so you can move even faster from some situation that you don't want to be on it. For the aspects, I'm using 3 Spectre, so gonna help you for the distracting enemies from you, and when its explosion, it's gonna release threadlings that seek health and damage your enemies. And I'm using whirling maelstrom. The strand tangle will weave a violent whirl mass of strand fibers. Strand masses seeks out and damage targets, emitting unraveling projectiles when it defeats them. For the fragments, I'm using Thread of Rebirth. Strand weapons final blows have a chance to create a threadling. This gonna synergize with the perk I'm using on my submachine, that is Hatchling. So I have even more precision final blows or rapidly defeating targets with these weapons. Spawns a threadling at the target's location, improves handling. So it's gonna help me for sometimes make some two threadlings in one kill. For the second one, I'm using Threat of Warding. Picking off Orb of Power grants woven mail, so this gonna helps you for get more even reducing damage from damage. For the third one, I'm using Threat of Fury. Damaging targets with the Tangler grants melee energy. So every time you're gonna use your Tangler, you're gonna grab your Tangler and you're gonna drop it against enemies. It's gonna refill you a bit of melee energy. This is gonna synergize with your artifact. While with targets hit by your tangles are severed, reduce tangle cooldown by picking one. So this synergizes with your fragment. So for the last one, Threat of Generation. Dealing damage generates grenade energy. So you're gonna have even more grapple grenade. For the weapons, like you can see, I'm using a submachine with substance and etching. I advise you to have a strand weapon. Doesn't matter if it's a submachine gun or a sidearm. Doesn't matter. A strand weapon. For the secondary weapon, it's a shotgun, Lord of Wolves, that it's dealing a huge damage, like I said before, and this is gonna deal even more damage that I'm gonna explain it even further. So the last one I'm using a rocket launcher, a Strand rocket launcher, Sinoiser with reconstruction explosive light. So, like you can see, picking Orb of Power increase the next projectile blast radius and damage. Increase the stacks of count limit. You can have 7 stacks on explosive light. So the helmet, for the helmet, I'm using Harmonic Siphon with hands-on armor mod, and I'm using special ammo finder so I can get more ammo for my Lord of Wolves. On my Select MK Grasp, I'm using heavy-handed so I can have some orbital power every time I kill someone with melee damage. And I'm using two focusing strikes, grants ability energy when you cause damage with a power melee attack. You can swap it for one of these. You can swap it for grenade or armored destructory. Faster ready install speed for certain weapons, but I prefer using these two of focusing strike. For the chest piece, it doesn't matter. It only matters the damage resistance for the activity you are using. So you can swap it for whatever you are playing. So it doesn't matter for the build itself. On the leg armor, I'm using recuperation replenish health each time you pick Orb of Power. I'm using one of Strand Weapon Surge and one of Solar Weapon Surge. We're gonna stop here. So for the Strand Weapon Surge, it's gonna help you have a boost of damage for your stand primary strand weapon, but because I'm using rocket launches, rocket launcher with explosive light, so I'm gonna have a boost of damage on my explosive light damage perk with the the strand weapon surge, but it's gonna have a third boost of damage every time I have Nightmare Full. So the thing is, you kill the enemy with your spike, with your 3D spike, okay? Then you have 5 or 6 seconds, 5 seconds I think, for using a boost of damage of Nightmare Full. So if you have armor armor charge, it's gonna have you the strand weapon surge, so already 2 boosts of damage. And For your explosive light, the third boost of damage, so you can imagine the damage you're gonna deal with your rocket launcher. And this means the same thing for your Lord of Wolves. That deals already a lot of damage with two boosts of damage. Okay, you're gonna have even more damage for your Lord of Wolves. This thing is melting champions and mini bosses really quick. For the last and Undercloak, I'm using a time dilation, so armor charge it takes more time to vanish, and I'm using powerful attraction and a Reaper mod. This is the main build. This is really fun to use build, and I'm gonna show you the artifact I'm using. Of course, I'm using Unstoppable Rocket Launcher with Valheave that I said before, so tangles are severed, reduce tangle cooldown when you pick one. So pick your tangles and don't shoot them. Of course, if they are really far away from you, shoot them. But if you are close, pick the most time you're gonna pick your tangle, so you can have a cooldown on from 1 second. Every time you pick a tangle, you're gonna reduce for 1 second your cooldown of your tangle, the next one that's gonna pop up. For the another artifact perk is Perpetual Destruction. Rapid final blows with non-exotic rocket launchers, what we are using, refund ammo and increase reload speed for a short duration. Even we don't need for the perks I'm using, I don't need the reload speed. I'm using this one is really powerful artifact packed perk. Picking special ammo has a chance to grant heavy ammo. That since I'm gonna have a lot of special ammo on the ground to pick up, so I have a lot of rockets too. For the another one of artifact pack is to shred, dealing unstinted damage to severed targets and unravel them. Defeating severed target grants a hotspot of strength energy, granting woven mail to nearby allies for a short duration. So this is gonna help your your allies to stay alive even more further. So the another one is arriving orbs, of course. Picking orb of power or a tangle grants strand weapon unraveling rounds. You're gonna have always unraveling rounds on your strand weapon, of course, because you are already always picking orb of power, or you are always shooting some dropping some tangle on your enemies, and the most one is important one is these two, or the shuttle damage on rival targets with a weapon occasionally spawns a trailing. So this gonna synergize with your hatchling if you have a perk of hatchling, and with your Thread of Rebirth perk 2. So this is the main build. I'm gonna leave you with the dim link of the build. This is really fun. It deals a really huge damage to your mini bosses, enemies all around. And I see you in the next one.